The state of Overwatch in 2024 is only comparable to that of two sides of a coin. And I say this because depending on which side of this coin you are in will really determine how you feel about this game going forward. On the one side, you have the current player base, the players who are actively playing the game, who are more than likely having fun with the game, and love the fact that the game is finally getting content support that it should have gotten and not have those long droughts that they had before. We're talking new maps, new modes, new heroes, etc. All of these things contribute to a healthy experience for those who currently enjoy the game as it is. If you're not on this side of the coin and you're on the opposite side, someone who maybe played the game in the past and walked away, or never played the game before and look at it and say, I'm not interested. Well, in 2024, at least for the roadmap that we have, nothing that's there will change your mind. If you do not actively play Overwatch currently, or for whatever reason, you are most likely not going to be compelled to come into the game in 2024. And the reason for this is because everything other than the stuff that I just mentioned doesn't do anything to bring new players in. This is one of the current issues with the game, is the inability to bring new players into it. For example, we had the PvE that was canceled in the end of it, and now you have your standard hero missions, which are fun score tracers for solo players, but only a selected heroes are currently available, and if you don't really play those heroes, this doesn't appeal to you. Then you have story missions, 3 of them haven't been updated, nothing new's been added. So if you're looking for a PvE experience, it's not really here. Yeah, they have those little aspects of it, but it's not enough for someone who doesn't play the game to be like, yeah, I want to play Overwatch now. It's not going to help. Then you also have other aspects, such as the monetization. One of the biggest flaws with Overwatch, and this doesn't matter on which side of the coin you're on, is nobody likes the idea of heroes being tied to a battle pass. We all seen what happened with Maga's release. Maga comes out, he's incredibly strong, and if your team has a Maga and the enemy team doesn't, you're pretty much SOL unless your Ana on your team hard counters the Maga. If the enemy, Ana doesn't hard counter that Maga with a sleep dart and anti-nade, you're kind of screwed. And even then, you're hoping that the team that has the Maga doesn't have a Kiriko who can cleanse those effects. So it's really this only adds to that fact. Again, for players who are actively playing Overwatch, they're probably having a good time because guess what? We suffered for 2 to 3 years of no content, and we finally have a steady stream of content. We have a roadmap that includes a new support and a new DPS coming to the game. We have new modes that were added, new maps that were added, and the support is actually there. It's just the fact that none of these things will bring somebody new to the game in 2024. This is why Overwatch to me is stagnant right now in terms of where are they going with this. As a fan, I love what's happening. I love that we get more content. It keeps the game fresh. I keep coming back to play more, but I'm a fan. If you're not a fan, you're just like, there's nothing here for me, and you're going to go play something else. If someone was to ask me, what would I recommend to them as a shooter, and they're thinking, what shooter should they play, I'm not going to recommend Overwatch to them right away. No, not at all. Overwatch has a steep learning curve to new players. It's not for everybody. And most importantly, a lot of people might not be too kind with the egregious microtransactions as well as the overall balance in the game. I would more inclined to recommend Valorant to a player because, obviously Valorant, they don't have the microtransactions as bad as this. Heroes, the balance in Valorant is so good that even if the new agent comes out, it doesn't matter if they're a little on the strong side because everybody has the same hitbox, health pool, and die to the same weapons, all the same. So if their kit is a little strong, you can still one-tap them with the same weapon you've always been using. Where in Overwatch, here comes Maga, and next thing you know, half the roster can't even kill him. So there's a big difference, and to me, that is a huge, huge, huge impact on why I would recommend a game like Valorant over Overwatch to a new player. Overwatch is very, very cutthroat to new players. And all of this is hurt by the game's overall balance. But the balance in Overwatch is not very good, to be honest. At any given point, at any given time, you can't just use whoever you want. See, in Valorant, for an average player, you could use whoever you want, and you pretty much have a good chance to win with whoever you use. Because hard counters in Valorant doesn't really exist. Yes, abilities counter other abilities, but it's not a hard counter. In Overwatch, if you come into the game and you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, I want to play Pharah, and the enemy team has 2 hit scans, there's nothing you can do. You're probably going to be dying to the 2 hit scans, especially if their hit scans can actually hit their shot. You go pick a tank and you sit there and say, oh, I want to play Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is not a good tank right now. He's pretty terrible. And that's the point of Overwatch, is that never at any point in the game can you just pick whoever you want and it's a really good choice. It doesn't exist in Overwatch. At any given time, at any given season, there's certain heroes that are stronger than others, and you have to accept that. And that your hero that you like may not be good. Genji is not in a good spot right now. Tracer, prior to her more recent buffs, wasn't very good. She couldn't kill a support. Supports currently, and I say this as a support main, they're incredibly strong. And this is the nature of the game. Whereas in Valorant, I could pick whoever I want and basically have a good time. It doesn't really matter as it does in Overwatch. So overall, that is the number one reason why I would say I would recommend a game like Valorant over Overwatch. It's for that very reason. So that's the issue in the state with Overwatch right now. If you're a fan, you're liking what's happening. You might have some criticisms, but you're still enjoying the game. If you're not a fan, if you don't actively play, 2024 isn't going to bring you in with anything that they have got coming. You're just going to carry on about your business, and away you go. The last thing I want to talk about is the actual bugs and glitches with Overwatch 2 currently. And I say this because there is a bug that's been in the game for about a month or so now, that where in quick play, if someone leaves the match, it doesn't backfill. I've had this happen a few times where someone leaves the game on either side and that's it. And if it's the tank player, that match is completely a wash because the tank won't get backfilled and you're not going to win without a tank. You're just going to lose. So, and then there's a few other bugs that have cropped up recently, but overall, yeah, Overwatch, the state of it, it's only really good if you're a fan of Overwatch. If you're not, 2024 is not going to change your mind about this game. If you haven't played it at all, you might be curious, you might try it out, and you might like it. But if you've tried this game out previously and it just wasn't for you, there's nothing here in 2024 that's going to change your mind. But that's the current state of the game. It depends on what side of the coin you're on. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.